Hey, Foundation, week 3 is officially over. Tonight on FRC Roundup, we'll be taking a look at 3 topics that cover everything from the current meta of Reefscape to looking at the optimal third robot and discussion about FRC pet peeves. All this and more coming up on this episode of FRC Roundup.
This video on fun is brought to you by our viewers, supporters, members, and also in partnership with the following. Build your alliance with so many other FRC alumni who go to Kettering University. Every student at Kettering experiences their cutting-edge co-op programs that seamlessly blend the professional and academic worlds. Kettering co-ops are a fully immersive working experience at the leading edge of industry. Head on over to kettering.edu/first to learn more about their incredible programs and to get more information. Osh Cut is a premier metal cutting service for first teams. No minimum order, options for same-day turnaround, guaranteed lead times, and instant online quotes. Osh Cut is offering first teams 50% off any future order up to $200 when you scan the QR code or go to funroboticsnetwork.com/OSHCUT. Just upload a 3D model or plot pattern to get started.
Welcome to the show. If you've not caught our show previously, FRC Roundup is where we take a look at important topics currently happening in FRC, strategy, or really anything that correlates with FRC. If you, the fun community, there's a topic that we should cover on FRC Roundup, please feel free to ping me in the fun Discord. I'm more than happy to take a look at it. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Nick Mathis, currently in the 1st and Michigan region, and a mentor on Team 33, the Killer Bees.
And I'm Connor McBride, mentor for Team 166 Chop Shop and an MC and game announcer in the New England District. Our guest tonight is Ronnie Scherer. Ronnie is a technical mentor on 67, the Hot Team, and an applications engineer at Azoth 3D. Ronnie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. Excited to do this for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. Always good to have another person in from Michigan. Ronnie and I are both competing this weekend, so if you see us at events, feel free to say hi. But let's jump right into topic 1, talking about Reefscape meta. You know, we've kind of talked about it each week in and out. Connor and I have with the various guests that we've had on the show. We saw a lot of big heavy hitters this past weekend. 1323, 254 competing for the first time. Brett as well. Saw Citrus again. That event actually just wrapped up a couple minutes ago before the show. But seeing a lot of good things out of California, continuing to push the meta. I guess my high level thoughts. I'm curious to see on the ground intake meta continues to evolve as we see from week to week. A lot of the heavy hitter teams continuing to come out operating, under the much smaller cycles to, push that 30 piece a match, limit that some teams are getting to. 1323, I think, is arguably probably the best team in the world right now with the ground intake to hand off with their pivoting elevator. So I'm very curious to see on where they continue to develop. And 254 started to look really good towards the end of today. So I'm curious to see where that develops into. Connor, I know that you had the opportunity to compete again this past weekend since your week 1 finals exit. I'd be curious to see, how 166 approached this weekend and where you see the game starting to develop from.
Yeah, so this was a very unique situation for 166 this past weekend. We did a complete full rebuild since our week 1 event. So unfortunately, that robot didn't start moving until Thursday night, and we started to our first couple matches had to work some bugs out, but by the end of it, we're firing on pretty much all full cylinders here. Tyler's showing a match. I think we scored about 15 coral. This was our best match of the event, but we're really starting to dial it in. We got vision working for the first time since 2016, so that was really, really cool. So shout out to my software students and the mentors on doing that. But I have to agree with you, Nick, on that floor intake. I think that's going to be the biggest killer throughout district championships or Houston or just high levels of competition there. That's really going to set you above the rest. It was a very attractive mechanism at Pine Tree where my team was competing at. I think there were only 2 or 3 teams that had it, and they all got up on high level alliances, one of them making it all the way to the finals, that being 5813 Morpheus. But I think being able to have them be able to potentially play a middle ground and have the human players being able to just flood the field with coral is, I think, probably the best way, in my opinion, to be able to keep triple offense while being able to still have all 3 robots cycle and stay out of each other's way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense. So, Ronnie, obviously it's been a couple of weeks since you've had the opportunity to compete. Competed week 1, We're winners of the Milford district. Jumping into this weekend, coming into Saline, we were talking pre-show a bit, but probably arguably one of the most difficult districts that, across the world that we're probably going to see in terms of EPA ranking and the continued development of teams and where they're going with that. Where do you expect kind of the meta to go forward into Saline this weekend? And what are some approaches that 67 is taking coming into this weekend to make sure that you guys end up on top again?
Yeah, I think, it's been a while since we've competed. Week 1's hard. It's early. So, we have an architecture that I think we want to pump out for week 1. We're hosting Milford. We compete there. And so I think we always try to kind of come out and have at least a robot that's ready to compete. So I think we did that with our execution this year. And we talked about a floor intake early on. We had the floor LG intake, just nothing for coral. And early on, week 1, it was like, definitely sometimes we could have used this. And then we watch other teams compete afterwards. I think became very apparent for us is like at a high level of play, we need this. We need to shorten our cycles. We have to get coral up faster. If defense comes, we need to have multiple options. And so for us, we say we have 3 options all the time now. We have the feeder station for coral. We have an LG game that you can play if you're defended. And then you have now, we added a ground coral intake. As breaking news for Saline. And so that, we're going to have one now. Did a little bit different approach than probably what we've done in the past, but I think it's going to be a big spot that the game goes to. And as we want to push those cycles past, 18, 20 game objects a match, you're going to have one to be able to get those high levels of play, at least one on Alliance, I think. You can kind of see that with 2056, 1678, 1323, Poofs even, right? Like they're using the funnel game, but they're still starting to get used to their ground intake. Definitely we're able to snag some quick cycles. So that's what I'm interested on to see how that evolves, especially as we start playing more LG, right? There was quite a few teams early on that were grabbing LG, dumping it right on the floor and just keep going with coral, right? The opportunities and areas to score for coral were much higher than what was available for LG. As you see, like from week 1 to week 3 that just passed, you saw way more of those LG either going right into the processor or in playoffs going right into the right into the net. I think we're going to keep seeing that, and the teams that are able to maximize that, they built a robot that's able to be decently quick with LG too, so it doesn't interrupt your flow of your coral match too much, but you're able to secure those 4 points. Probably start seeing the processor stuff goes away.
I'm with
at
you.
high levels of play. For us and for me from the very beginning, I hate when matches are close, right? Like in an ideal world, when we're doing our strategy, the processor for me allows teams to stay in it when you're playing against them, because you're only +2 instead of +4. You're keeping that gap close. You start to see some of these scores that are inflated with the LG, by doing processor and throwing the net. And so I think as it gets going, those LG net robots, they become beneficial, especially when you can combine that with the robot that's able to do ground coral, putting that directly in the net. We're starting to see it more, right? 1323 bread, they were just basically dropping that stuff right in there as soon as it was ready.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I think the LG thing's an interesting point. Going to shout out one of the 33 mentors, Clayton, pulled some data earlier in regards to algae that I thought I would share with everybody here. But it looks like 14.1% of total matches were won by algae points. That breaks down into 14.2% of qual matches, 14.4% of non-finals elim matches, and 8.7% of finals matches. And that breaks down into the different weeks. Finals matches were won 6 out of 54 in week 1, so 11%, and then it dropped a bit into 6% and then kicked back up to just under 10%. So I think as we see the game continue to evolve, I'm with you, Ryan. I think algae is going to become incredibly important, and finding the happy medium between a really good coral robot and a good coral robot that's also good at algae is going to be really important. The one question I have for you, you mentioned obviously 67 has added a ground intake. 33 is working on one. It'll be on the robot this weekend. I don't know that we'll use it, but we want to make sure that it's there for MSC coming up. Where do you see in terms of ideal alliance members? We're going to have a discussion on third robots in the next topic, but say Perfect World 67 seeds 1, and you guys have a ground coral intake. Where do you expect your ideal alliance partner to be? Are you looking into more of another alliance member that doesn't care if you guys flood the field and can equally also, pull ground coral as easy as you can? Or are you looking for a robot that might more be able to hopefully take the defense and have more of a funnel style that plays that algae coral hybrid role?
Yeah, I'd say, depends what, who we're at the tournament with, but probably for Celine, a little bit of a hybrid role. Somebody like, if you're not able to handle algae, I can't imagine that you're going to be very high on the list just as a first pick, just because of, looking at the teams going on. There are, the reality of scoring, I look at it from tree branches. So 36 coral between L2 and L4, split that down the middle with, 3-piece or 4-piece autos a piece. You're looking at 15. And I just look at it that way because a lot of teams, for lack of a better term, aren't very, they struggle and they're not very good with L1. Especially a lot of the shooter robots. So, you fill L2 through 4, what's left to do or where you get your points. If you aren't very good at L1, you're going to be looking for those LG in the nets. And I think we'll get into this a little bit with third robots later on, but I think I see that's where we're looking and where the game goes is, right. A robot that can be a companion with you, help fill their side of the reef from L2 to L4. But then what does the L1 game look like? Because, right, we're assuming that you're going to take the LG that you need to score your coral on, put that in the net. But afterwards, right, let's say you're a 25-piece robot a match. What do you have left? Are you just going to struggle at shooting them on L1?
Right.
Do we transition a little bit earlier and start stacking on L1 better? I think we saw 1323 probably be the best L1 robot that I've seen so far, right? The way that they're able to stack the triangles of 3 coral on each side. They played that really well. And I think it's going to be super important. I think you're going to see this weird trend, maybe not weird, that, right around week 4 to week 6, you're going to start seeing LG become pretty important because teams are basically doing L2 through L4, then right to LG and they're not very great at L1. But then I think at Worlds, you start to see where the meta shift again. You get 3 good robots. You're able to steal some LG from the other side. You filled your LG. Robots have gotten really good. Autos have gotten quite a bit more competitive. And now where's the L1 going? Does your robot allow you to be really good at L1? And so for us, that's what we're looking at is LG LG as a top priority with your coral scoring. But I think at Worlds that shifts a little bit, or maybe even MSC, where it's important, but maybe we're more so focused on what are you doing with L1, right? You're doing 22 pieces a match, but if half the reef or more is filled by us, or if it's filled by you, what else are you going to do in that match? Not climb or defense or. There's lots of different ways you can go, but that's what I'm most interested in and kind of where I think the game's going to go. I think we're going to see some peak in LG, especially this week 4. Teams in Michigan, right now aren't quite on the level of a 2056 or a 1323. I think we're all chasing it, but just not there at the moment. So I think, we'll see L2 through L4 filled, and then probably the net filled up. See scores from Celine coming out 220s to 220s. 230s, but I don't think we're going to get to the level that 1323 was with start dropping those L1s, but it's coming.
Yeah, very good. Kate, you had a question in chat that what is considered won by algae. If I remember correctly, it was that the match was decided by algae. So if you won by 9 and you had more algae points than the opponent, I think that's what the stat was, but not 100% sure on that. I can confirm after and post in the archive chat as well, but I believe that's what it was. So, all right. Before we go and jump into the next topic, let's bring on Tyler here from our friends at Kettering University and start our first giveaway.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Nick. So we will have a giveaway come up in just a moment, but let's stop and thank our friends at Kettering University for their continued support of fun. Their scholarships are going to be closing soon, so if you're looking at attending Kettering University, a place where every single student is in a co-op program, not just an internship, but something that's state of the art, where you get to actually work with some top companies and make some real money as well, to a fully immersive working experience as well. So head on over to kettering.edu/first, check out more about their scholarships, see if Kettering is a great fit for you, and see why so many of those who are in competitive robotics are going to Kettering University as well. Once again, that's kettering.edu/first. We're going to start our first giveaway of the evening as well, too, from our friends at Swift. So this is for the Swift Ranger. Just a little bit more about that. First off, if you're interested in winning that, just type Ranger in chat. This allows you to empower your FRC robot in the ultimate LiDAR distance sensor designed to give you the edge in competition. Engineered by Swift Robotics, it's compact yet powerful, and it delivers accuracy, reliability, and versatility. Unlike traditional sensors that use I2C, the Swift Ranger uses an analog interface, making it the perfect tool for game element detection and navigation. So we'll draw for that in just a little bit, but once again, type Ranger in chat. If you are a YouTube sub, you do get 3 times luck. It's free to do. Click that subscribe button to stay up to date on everything we have going on here at Fun. Let's send it back to the team.
Awesome. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks again to our friends at Kettering as well as Swift for the giveaway tonight. Joining in topic 2 tonight, we kind of talked about a little bit previously, but I want to spend a bit more time on this specifically. But third robots on an alliance. It's been a topic in the community on Chief as well as in some of the Discord servers. But what does the optimal third robot look like for an elite alliance that could be at a district championship or at the first championship here? In like a month, which is crazy to think that champs is about a month away already. But, I want to talk about, Ronnie, we talked a little bit about, the L1 scoring, how that's going to play into kind of getting to the peak scores. I'm curious to see on what develops in terms of third robots, right? Do we think that, that triple offense is ever going to be a strategy that might develop? We can talk about that a little bit. I personally don't think so, but maybe that's just my opinion. But Connor, you've had 2 times to compete now, both in positions where you've been the captain of the first pick that has been significantly influential on what the third robot you're looking for to complete your alliance is. Where do you see that kind of, I guess, where did you see it in week 1 and week 3? And then where do you maybe see it start to pivot to as we get towards district champs and the championship?
Yeah, so fun fact, the third robot on our alliance at both events was the same robot, 6153 Blue Crew.
Did not know that.
Yep. So we picked them a second time this past weekend for 2 reasons. One, we knew that they could play defense and they had a deep climb, mainly because our first pick did not have a deep climb. And the second one was we worked with them really well at our first event, so we knew our strengths and weaknesses working with them. So I think that really helped out. I think at least for play right now, that third robot is most likely going to be a defense robot, but I'm starting to see defense start to go away towards those higher level events like your district championship or at Houston. I think we'll probably end up seeing a lot more triple offense later out in higher levels of play. I don't necessarily think that third robot is going to be the ground intake robot for picking up level 1 or picking up coral from the ground and scoring at level 1. That's probably going to end up being the captain or the first pick. But that third robot might be doing algae up in the barge or just running coral cycles at levels 4, 3, and 2 and just making sure that you contribute to those higher point values.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, Ron, we've talked a bit about this offline, but I think the optimal robot, at least in my mind, is you get a robot that's damn good at defense, and then you get a robot that can steal algae. And whether they're throwing them to your side of the field or throwing them up in the net for you, coming from the backside, I think that is going to be, something that is probably one of the things that's going to take the alliance further. Because like you said, Connor, ideally the level 1 is probably going to be, the captain of the first pick that can do them off the ground and can do 5 in, 15 seconds or something like that. That's incredibly quick. And that way, the time that you would have been, spending on algae or getting algae from across the field and scoring in the net, that hopefully your defense robot can, play some hybrid defense, but then also start to pivot into what that, what that loss might look like by you going to the L1. But Ronnie, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if I was to draw a perfect, perfect robot, who do I want to play with? who do I hope's there? I think you kind of get into that situation at high levels of play, right? Like Orbit got, I think it was 321 last year, right? Just got an absolute menace as a defender and still a capable robot. And I think that's kind of similar to what we're looking for. I've been asked this twice today, which is really, really funny. But, somebody who's able to drive well, right, is always top priority when I'm looking at that, is just drive smooth, drive well throughout the match, not even just playing defense, right, but just overall match strategy flows well. They look good and don't look lost on the field. Third, the third robot being for us, what I'd want is somebody that goes down other side of the field, able to steal LG. And the shuttling is okay, but I'd say that your two main robots for me is you're probably locked in, on your reef and what you're doing. Been able to put those in the net from the backside would be clutch.
Totally agree.
I think that's what we're looking for. I'd be curious to see where the game goes with like a triple climb setup as well, right? Like, your two main robots go to climb, or your third robot and one other robot go to climb. Someone stays back and just keeps going L1. As long as it's clean, we'll see. You have to start, what do you got to put 6 L1s in your time to climb? But then I, watch a match at the St. Louis Regional, and I watch Rush kind of break at 5 seconds, hit the cage at 3 seconds, and they're up at 1 second left in the match. And I'm like, well,
it's hard to beat.
Hard to beat those 12 points there. So I can't imagine that that they're not scoring 2 or 3 on the L1 and then running over and getting a sub 5 second climb as well. So I think that's where that's what I want out of a third robot though, right? Score net from the backside, go down, play some defense, and somebody that just drives well, right? Penalties in this game, right? Like are going to kill you. You can't just you can't get mega ahead. It just reminds me so much of high levels of play, how like 2023 played out, right? Where it was like everyone filled it. It was like you're supercharging for the last couple. Oh crap, they got a penalty. There's like almost no way they can get back for this unless this other team misses their, misses their end game. Otherwise, like it's over. So I hope that we don't see something, high levels of play this game. It always sucks to see, but it just feels like we're trending that way where, people are going to fill the reefs from 2 to 4. All the LG is going to be up and in the nets. And then it just comes down to anybody missed their climb. Is there a massive penalty? Or who can stack L2 the best? And I think you're gonna see these close Einstein matches, close Fimstein playoff matches at all the district champs are going to be close and just decided by a game object here or there, which is pretty different from what you would see last year. I think all of a sudden team would get an extra amp cycle in, and all of a sudden it'd be like a 30 point swing game. Yep. And it's like, this year I think it's going to be more like, 2023 with those tight matches. And so, getting that, you find that perfect third robot that someone slipped up on that is really capable of a lot more, gives you flexibility and strategy, but is like, hey guys, we can play defense, but we're always looking for opportunistic defense. So if you're able to steal LG, that's where you're going to find your point swings in this game. That robot that can be down there, slow down your opponent and also steal one of their LGs. Especially those lollipops. Those ones are going to be like, I feel like, hey, as we get going, it's going to be a race to see who's maybe picking some of those up in auto, right? They're picking up the lollipop and they're, and they're carrying it with them and they're getting their coral. So they're still going on it. But I feel like as an alliance, you want to get those things off the ground as quick as possible.
Yeah, I didn't know
that. Pad your points there. And because if you leave those on the ground, there's definitely going to be teams that are going to be opportunistic and they're going to steal those quick.
Right, because inherently, like, we're going to get to a point where, and we're already seeing it a little bit, but we're going to get to a point where, like, reefs are going to start getting maxed out, and then it's going to be, okay, who stole some algae or who's really good at stacking pyramids for L1. I think that might be, we talked a little bit about it. I think that might be like a bit of an underrated, actually super hard thing to do, is getting the coral to pyramid on in the trough. And yep. I think that actually, like, it might, at some super high levels of play, like late district champs, and definitely at the championship, it's going to be, who can steal more algae and who's really good at stacking pyramids with the coral to get, the extra piece or two in various phases of the trough to be able to get, like Ronnie said, that one or two pieces up. So
yeah, we were dabbling with taking our wrist off right as soon as we went to the ground intake architecture and added that. We're like, well, looking at it, we can save some weight here, take some complexity out of the system. But then looking at how we're able to place the L1s in there and drop them in at the height that we want, it seemed like in the long run it was going to be too beneficial to be able to place those L1s nicely versus shooting them on. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, well, before we go and jump into the final topic of the night, we'll draw for that giveaway from Swift Robotics, start another one, and a quick announcement from our producer, Tyler.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Nick. Once again, we're giving away the Swift Ranger distance sensor. Ranger was your keyword in chat. If you do win, please go to funroboticsnetwork.com and click that button that says giveaway winner or something like that. You know where to find it. So make sure you click that, and that's your opportunity to claim. Please make sure you do claim within a couple of days, and it's going to be Ninja Nate 07. Congratulations. Ninja Nate, please go to funroboticsnetwork.com and click the giveaway winner button to fill in your information. And thanks again to Swift for the awesome giveaway. And we will start another giveaway in just a moment as well, too. But we do want to let all teams know if you're looking for, especially in the heated competition season, to get parts done fast and accurate and done so well, Oshkosh is giving away a 50% off discount up to $200 to all first teams when you scan that QR code or go to funroboticsnetwork.com/OSHCUT. We also have the logo on our website as well, too. No minimum orders, options for same day turnaround. So if you need your stuff really quick, it's there. Guaranteed lead times and instant online quotes. We've had quite a few teams already test them out as we just started with Oshkosh and had some phenomenal results as well, too. We're actually going to have some robot parts, I think, the show on air next show as well, too. So go to funroboticsnetwork.com/OSHCUT or click that or scan that QR code to get that 50% off coupon. And we are going to start our second giveaway of the evening from our friends at CTR Electronics, Crossroad Electronics, for a $75 Crossroad Electronics gift card. So just type in CTR Electronics in chat right now. That's your opportunity to win. And, of course, hopefully you know about CTR Electronics, but it's the place that you can innovate, create, and dominate. Talking top-quality robotics components, cutting-edge innovation, and a commitment to excellence that's second to none. So if you do win, by the way, it will be a online gift card. We'll just need your email. Type in CTR Electronics in chat right now. That's your opportunity to win, and YouTube subs get 3 times luck to win. Let's send it back to the team.
Awesome. Thanks, Tyler, and thanks again from our friends at Swift, Oshkosh, and CTR for the support tonight. I'm going to hand it over to Connor, as I usually do, for our final topic. Should be a quick one, but always fun as well.
Yeah, this is kind of a little bit of a fun one to wrap up tonight. You know what really grinds my gears? We got, pet peeves. There's always those like weird kind of little things that really just kind of irk you, whether if it's just some stupid thing that you read on Chief Delphi or something dumb that someone did at a competition. For me, it's always those classics. It's like, it's gratefully accepts, not graciously accepts. Like, come on, get it right. Stop yelling robot in the pit. Like if you want, don't actually do this, but if you really want to get people moving, just yell fire. That's a good way to get people out of the way, but don't actually do that. Please do not. I have some other things that I might touch on, but I know Ronnie, I know that you've probably got some stuff that you want to share with us. So floor is yours, my dude.
Yeah, the biggest one recently that we've gone through is the carts on the field. So a while ago,
stupid.
Well, I don't know. Which side do you take here,
stupid that you just don't let them on the field. Like, it's a damn safety risk. Just let them wheel the cart on the field.
Yeah. So, like, for us, right, like, they changed the rules. They started allowing some subset of stuff. And, like, last year, we actually had, like, the head ref, and I think it was, like, the LRI that came over, and they were like, hey, we need to measure your cart. A team complained that it's oversized for the field. I'm like,
come on.
Oversized for the field. So all right, we measured it. They're like, yeah, it looks like it's a ½ inch too long. Literally, true story. And I was like, okay, so like, we can fix that at the event. And at first, the ruling was, no, we need you to stop taking on the field. I'm like, wasn't the rule made to like safety of students? Hey, let's not have freshmen in high school or whoever it is carrying a 150-pound robot as we're stepping over a gate and we're doing everything else. It's like, why not just have a common sense here and be like, hey, yeah, we'll fix it afterwards. They actually ended up calling like Manchester on it. And they were like, yeah, they said it's okay. You guys can keep using it. And I was like, why is this a debate? Like, why are we wasting time on this right now? Like over our cart. And then also the team that was reporting it, like, I don't know what we did to you, but
Jeez.
so that's my most recent pet peeve. I have a ton of other ones, but I'll people have heard enough of those over the time, especially on sheep. So
yeah, that's a funny one. I'm with you. I'm with you, Tyler. I think in general, like, the cart thing really irritates me because, like, to your point, Ronnie, like, robots were just, before this year, we're just getting heavier, and this year they're a little bit lighter, but they're still pretty damn heavy. So just let them. It's a safety thing. Just let them on the field. The one for me that is actually, I've kind of changed my my point on, or viewpoint on. Pneumatics for me is just like needs to just be not allowed in FRC anymore. Might be a hot take. I know 33 the past 2 years hasn't used them, but like it just causes so many issues. It makes inspection longer. It's more failure points. Just remove it. Make it no longer legal. That's a big thing for me. The other thing that that was brought up on Chief as well, and kind of you stated it too, but the screaming robot and the bells of drive teams that are walking through the pits drives me crazy. Kyle Hughes from 27, I love you. The bell drives me crazy. But no hate against Kyle, but the bell drives me crazy. So those are my overall pet peeves. But before we go and wrap the show, let's bring Tyler back on to drop for that giveaway.
But by the way, I was at Kettering 1. I didn't hear a bell from 27 the whole time. So maybe they changed. Who knows?
Maybe the bell's gone.
So never know on there. In chat, let us know what your pet peeves are as well, too. Yeah, let's go ahead and draw for the giveaway. Once again, that was from Crosser Electronics for the $75 gift card as well, too. So CTR Electronics was your keyword. Once again, if you do win, please go to funroboticsnetwork.com and click the button for giveaways. It's Crazy Fish 784. Hey, congratulations to you. $75 gift card coming your way. We'll just need your email for that. So go ahead and fill out the information. We'll get that back to you. And thanks again to both Swift and CTRE for the awesome giveaways tonight. We really appreciate vendors stepping up and those who choose to help support fun and appreciate our fans as well too in that manner. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again, Tyler, and thanks from our friends at CTR. Thank you, Ronnie, for being our guest tonight and coming on. On behalf of our producer, Tyler Olds, my co-host, Connor, and all fun correspondents, I'm Nick, and thanks for watching. Good luck to all teams we enter here in Week 4. All three of us will be at events this weekend. I'll be at First of Michigan Troy. Ronnie will be at FIM Saline, and Connor will be game announcing. I think you said game announcing at UNH or MC right. At UNH. Beautiful. Yeah, so we'll all be at events this weekend. Be sure to stop and say hi. And remember, now that we're during the competition season, FRC Roundup is live at 8:30 Eastern on Monday nights at Fun Robotics Network on YouTube. And archives of this show can be found on our YouTube channel by searching Fun Robotics Network. So join us next week where we take a look at what is going on with First Robotics on FRC Roundup. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. Osh Cut is a premier metal cutting service for first teams. No minimum order, options for same-day turnaround, guaranteed lead times, and instant online quotes. Osh Cut is offering first teams 50% off any future order up to $200 when you scan the QR code or go to funroboticsnetwork.com/OSHCUT. Just upload a 3D model or flat pattern to get started. Build your alliance with so many other FIRST alumni who go to Kettering University. Every student at Kettering experiences their cutting-edge co-op programs that seamlessly blend the professional and academic worlds. Kettering co-ops are a fully immersive working experience at the leading edge of industry. Head on over to kettering.edu/first to learn more about their incredible programs and the